Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Live Recruiting Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is Tuesday, September the 3rd, 2024. We are recording on this day, so keep that in mind with tomorrow's, today's, and yesterday's. It's true to the day. This is an anomaly, but we're recording Tuesday morning. We wanted to get it out as soon as possible. We wanted to get it out for your ride home, for you hardworking cats. We have a fantastic show for you today. We're going to get some questions from the corner. We're going to get to some how abouties. And here to do it all with me, Mr. Allen Head, Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, fellas?
How about you?
How about you, brother? How we feeling today?
Man, it's Cow Week. Is this a new thing for Auburn football? Cow Week?
I guess so. I mean, does that mean that we need to smoke weed and then tape this podcast, or what are we doing here?
Oh, you haven't already?
Oh no, I left my gummies at home today, man.
Gosh, dog it souls.
The devil's lettuce. The devil's lettuce. Y'all stay away from that, man. Unless it's some really good stuff.
That is a Jeffrey Lee PSA, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, we're going to get some questions from the corner. I would do want to remind everybody, if you haven't already, for questions from the corner, Auburn Live on 3, go sign up, annual subscription, always a discount. And if internet's not your thing, Auburn Live YouTube Plus, go hit that join on our YouTube channel. And we've got some good stuff coming out. We're going to have a recruiting insider on Wednesday. Cole's got some Pink's perspective coming out, breaking down the game and stuff. It's incredible stuff. Video, he can control it. He can show you. It's like watching film with the coach. Fantastic stuff. It's absolutely worth the $2.99 a month. Go check that out if the website is not your thing. If the website is your thing, it's all included in the subscription. Also, before we get started, we got a 5-star realtor to give a how about you to. If you're looking for a house in or around Auburn, and things are starting to pick up, trust me, I've seen it. If you're looking for a house, you want to move to Auburn, looking to pick up, move somewhere else, find a new home, look no further for the help you need. Miss Jessica Andrus with the Talents Group. Give her a call, 334-704-4442. A lot of fours in that number, but hey, she's a 5-star realtor. If you don't believe me, just ask Alan Head. He'll tell you. Give her a call, folks. 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. All right. We're not messing around today. We got stuff to do. All right. We're going to get to our questions from the corner. We're going to get to some how about yous. And, man, I'll tell you what, we will get to some how about yous because I've got several. It's been a fantastic week on the corner. It's amazing the attitude, the aura of the message board when Auburn does well, when Auburn beats the shit out of people.
Oh, yeah.
When Auburn flips commitments, when Auburn gets commitments, when Auburn gets top recruits to visit, when Auburn has top recruits ready to commit. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, let's go. Get us started, Zach. 3-Tech Taunt. That's an awesome moniker.
I like
it. Is that a fair word?
Moniker?
Yeah. Moniker.
I always go username on that.
Yeah,
but,
I'm trying to be fancy.
Moniker, I like it.
I like handle. I like
handle. Oh, yeah. My handle back in high school was Jim Beam.
I hear you on that. I thought you were going to go with your trucker name, but
that was. We had CBs, man. We'd get up before school. Hey, Bird Dog, what's you 20?
Yep, breaker 1-5. This is Jim Beam coming down the highway.
Jim Beam.
We had Bird Dog. We had Pecos. We had several of us had CBs. Had the big long antennas on top.
Oh, heck yeah!
Then the Radio Shack came out with a little 2-footer with a magnet on the top. Oh man, talk to me. Awesome. All right, 3-Tech Taunt. If Tyler Lockhart impacted by Melendez's renewed interest in Auburn? Thank you for asking this because everybody has asked this and it's needs to be addressed once and for all. They have zero to do with each other.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. From the coaching staff viewpoint, right? Now the players may view it differently, and correct. I don't know that. They may not want to be in a very deep linebacker class. They may want to be the feature guy, whatever. But from the coaching staff standpoint, they are mutually exclusive from one another. One is a Will, one is a Mike.
Right.
They
don't even play the same positions.
Yeah, don't play the same positions in the defense. So they're different pieces, different players.
I know what everybody's doing. They're counting on their fingers and they're going, all right, how's that going to work?
Yeah.
But don't do that. Forget about the numbers right now. Forget about it. They're going to get everybody they want to get if they can. All right. Ooh. There's a chance for a 105. There's a chance for 95.
Yes.
They're going to – and look, the NCAA's got them where they're like, can we get an answer on that so we can finish our class? And the NCAA's like, I don't have time to bother with you. I'm trying to take as long as I can with this decision. So Auburn's going, okay, well, in that case, we're going to plan for 105.
3 months before signing day.
Update on that. It's a big week in the House settlement case week today, or starting this week. They should have, I think the fairness hearing happens at the end of this week. So hopefully we should know a little bit more on that timeline from the NCAA perspective. So as far as recruiting goes, hopefully we'll have a juicy nugget to talk about at next Sunday's call-in show with the decision being made.
Juicy.
Alan Head will keep us updated on that.
Definitely.
Sure. And also Pete Nakos, you might want to follow him. He's all over.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Pete
he does a really good job. Pete Nakos for On3 does a fantastic job of covering all the NIL stuff. He'll spot one. What current players are our best recruiters for the new classes? Is this going to be a mainstay where the current players play a big part in recruiting? The current players. Best recruiters on Keontae Scott's got to be on there.
Sure.
The closer.
Damari Alston.
Damari Alston's fantastic.
Big time. Damari Alston wants to know what's going on. Like, if he's ever not in the know, he doesn't like that. He wants to know.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I've heard really good things about Peyton Thorne, specifically with last year's class and his involvement with the receivers. So he was active in their recruitment. I don't know how active he is right now. I mean, he's going to be kind of out of eligibility, but last year I heard a lot about him from that standpoint for sure.
I'd say the Freeze Four.
Yeah, I was going to say them, the freshmen.
Yeah,
they always get mentioned by pretty much any receiver or quarterback recruit we talk to. They're involved in some way. Jeremiah Wright.
Oh yeah,
he was big for Duke.
He was, and they're cousins. But he also is. I mean, that guy never leaves the football complex. I believe he has a bed set up in there somewhere. I mean, really, he doesn't.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I think Malik Blockton's a guy that probably is going to be a very good recruiter for Auburn.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of them, and a lot of really good kids, right? A lot of good character kids on this team. A lot of kids that are invested in each other and the success of the program more than their own individual success. And you can't do that for every program.
And this isn't a new thing, by the way. This has been going on for as long as I've been doing it. I mean, players helping recruit, absolutely, and it was actually more prevalent before because up at the old complex, the player hosts were always with them. And now you kind of now it's a little bit more private, but this has been going on for a long time. But Derek Brown was fantastic. There was a lot of good recruiters. What's up, Cole?
Who would y'all say is the best recruiter? The guy that's committed in the class and recruits besides Alvin. We know about Alvin. Who would you say?
Got to be Malik, right? Or at least he's the one. He's the one I follow the most anyway.
Yeah, he does a lot. I've talked to a lot of recruits about when I went to Jared Smith's announcement, and he had that picture of him holding the Auburn hat and pointing at it with his family around him in Bama stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of recruits thought that was the coolest picture. They were like, so maybe that's something. I'm trying to think other than them.
Anquan Fagans, I think, has done a really good job as far as recruiting players, and he was doing it before he was even actively in the class, right?
Oh, Ryan G.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
War Eagle J-Man, if Naeem Offord were to flip, do you think it would be before or after the Arkansas game? Arkansas game is the 21st, right? September 21st. Before then,
I'm going to go no.
Me too.
Cole's going to go yes. Yeah.
I just don't know.
I'm leaning more toward it happening sooner than later if it's going to.
Okay.
If it's going to, right?
I'll tell you what. To hear the backtrack of the backpedaling of the Ohio State people.
That caught my eye for sure.
Me too. It did.
Yeah, I mean,
when they're asking around to their sources at Ohio State and they're not feeling great about keeping him, that tells me more than what I've been hearing around here at Auburn. I mean, at least it validates it more.
That's what I was going to say.
Go ahead, Alan.
No, I was going to say validate is the absolute right word, because you're always looking for signs in recruiting, right? And so when you hear things on your end, you're trying to bounce it off other people, or you're looking for a suggestion as okay for validation. That was big time validation for me for some of the things I've heard. But Cole, go ahead.
I mean, if you look at what the fans say, like on their board, and they're saying, well, why would he leave Ohio State for 8-4 Auburn? You know, everybody that argument is so big with the blue blood programs. They love that argument. You know, of course, it's like Billy Napier said, it's the basement guy. Anyway,
mom's basement.
No, that's what Billy said, not me.
Central Florida.
Central Florida, yeah. But do they not understand that it takes a guy like Naeem Offord, like Andrew Babalola, to not be an 8-4 or whatever program?
Do they not remember when they were the 8-4 program and the 5-stars started coming to them?
Yeah, probably not at Ohio State. They've been
look, I mean, a fan base
plus program for a while now.
Have they?
Oh,
fan base
going back before Urban?
Probably before Urban. I would think that they had.
Who was the old the white haired guy? Hell, I think he even won a national
title.
Jim Tressel.
Yeah, I mean, no, they were good underneath Tressel. He just got fired for Tattoo Gate or whatever it was, and then they had that year with Luke Fickell.
Yeah,
where I think he coached him like 6-6, and they hired an Urban directly coming off of that.
Okay, there you go.
But listen, don't look at the fan base. They get a big head about the smallest things, right? Like, I mean, y'all should go look at the thread on our board about making your own line for the Auburn Cal game. Some people are getting pretty confident about it.
Pump the brakes, big dog.
Easy.
I'm with you. I think I'm stretching it by going 17 points. You know what I mean? Like, I saw some 30-point plus predictions in there. I was like,
yeah, take it easy. I mean, maybe you might be right.
You're right, maybe.
Sure.
But the point is that when you start getting guys like that, then it's not this poverty program or 8-4 program anymore. They have the right players. And that's what Auburn's trying to do, is flip the script and get the guys and keep building that roster. And it's not really rocket science or rocket surgery, as you say sometimes, Alan.
Oh, I love it. Rocket
surgery for sure. I'll watch out for that shit.
Yep.
Carnell is an Escalade. How likely is it that Auburn finishes in the top 2 in recruiting? Okay. What's it going to take to be even in the conversation? Auburn's at 5 now, but man, making the jump from 5 to 2 is extremely difficult.
Yeah, you're going to have to hit all your top targets. So
I have to hit them all.
Deuce, Chroma,
Babs, Naeem.
Yeah, all those.
Those are your 2 most important. The 2 most important recruits in Auburn getting to a top 2 or even a top 3 is getting 5-star Babalola, 5-star Naeem Offord.
Yes. Got to have that from jump, right? Because there's no way you get into the top 2 without at least 2 5-stars. Now, Melendez is important to this. Tyler Lockhart is important to this, because now you're talking to the depth of your class.
And you're raising the floor too, right?
Yes, because they're going to start to, at some point, I think, Cole, they only account for what, like the top 25 in the class?
I don't think it's 25. I think it's 20.
Okay. If it's 20, and that's what Rivals does, right? So every player you stack that is better than someone you presently have in the class just adds to the computation of what they do to get the points where they stand for who's number 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. But I'm with you, Babs, Naeem. Those are, if you're going to get inside the top 5 and stay inside the top 5 and potentially the top 2, those are the ones you have to have. And then you got to continue to layer it with other high-end 4-star quality guys. Because is there another 5 that we're really in on that's feasible at this point?
Not unless somebody gets the bump up.
Which is doable, right? I mean, that happens all the Cam Coleman got it.
Jared Smith.
Yeah.
Charles Power got to see Jared Smith.
I don't think Auburn's ever going to give up on Caleb Cunningham. I don't know how realistic he is, but they're not.
No,
that's
right. One for sure. That's
definitely worthy of mentioning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we expect him to be. I'll be surprised if he doesn't.
Sure.
Good stuff though. That's what's going to take, Carnell. So how likely is it? Actually, it's not.
It's not to
impossible.
Me. The way I'm looking at that question is, how likely is it that Auburn finishes top 2? Well, when has Auburn ever finished top 2? Okay,
I don't think they've ever finished higher.
It's not likely. It's not likely. It's just
I'll put 40% on it.
Right. It's not like
and that might be pretty high.
Yeah.
Even if Auburn gets all these guys, even if it works out the way that it looks like it could, it's just not likely that Auburn finishes in the top 2. Can they? Sure.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
you
not
still
likely.
got to pass what? Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State. Those are the 3, I think, because 4 is on the doorstep.
LSU? Is it LSU?
LSU's also in there, I think, for sure. They were at one point. Now, I know they had a 5-star flip out of their class, and I'm not exactly sure where they are right now. I think they're 4. But I think they get
I would like to know just your brief, quick thoughts of Brian Kelly.
There you go. Oh, shit. Georgia has dropped to 4?
So it's Georgia at 4, LSU at 3. Yeah, but Georgia's on verge of adding 2 5-stars, man.
Yeah, they're not going to be there long. So think about that. Georgia's going to add 2 more 5-stars to their 3. Look at the 5-stars in front of Auburn right now, and look at Texas too. Texas has 3 5-stars. Georgia has 3. LSU has 3. Bama has 4. Ohio State has 4. Auburn has 0.
Mm-hmm.
So jumping to top 2, even if you get Offord and Babs,
well, I don't think
your 4-stars better be ranked higher.
But Deuce Knight technically is not a 4-star. A 5-star, but he is close.
Now, he's someone who can make a jump, right? Yeah.
His points carry a lot of weight, put it that way.
Texas, I don't know, Jeffrey, how deep of a class they're going to sign. I think they're going to look to do some work in the transfer portal with having Arch Manning being the successor there. So, and that's what they did this last. They had a really good class, but I think they got most of their good pieces that are on this team through the portal. I think they're going to do that again. When I say good pieces, they've got 3 5-stars, right? So their high school recruiting is doing just fine. But I don't know that they're going to sign as deep a class from high school as Auburn anticipates signing. And then, Cole, to answer your question on Brian Kelly, I think he's a really good coach, but his teams are character. They're always undisciplined. They make mistakes at the worst times. And as of right now, they can't run the football.
Him pounding on the table in the interview, it kind of reminded me, because he's not a real intimidating guy.
No.
So it kind of reminded me of the water boy when he's got the heels on and he's going, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway,
I think he's a bad fit at LSU. I do. I think he's a bad fit.
Me too. Auburn fan 27. Sam Turner taking an unofficial visit this weekend. He's taking an unofficial visit this weekend. He's coming back from Oklahoma for his official visit. Do you think he leaves this weekend, Auburn commit, or do you think this one will run a little longer? I'll give you my opinion on this one. I've been following Sam Turner pretty closely. I think his plan right now is to make his decision after the Oklahoma visit. Now, as we know, he gets here, he gets taken. Maybe Auburn won't pushes for him to go ahead and do it. But if you look at the stars that are aligning right now for Auburn, you've got Deuce Knight. I expect Deuce Knight to commit this weekend. I expect Elijah Melendez to commit the next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And who's that next weekend going to be?
Sam Turner.
So I don't expect Sam Turner to leave this one committed. I actually think Oklahoma's the 20.
Oh, you're right. It is. So we'll have a break in between. Now, maybe they get Lockhart in the class finally, and then they go Sam Turner. Who knows?
Lord have mercy.
So I don't think that he leaves committed from this first game, but you remember us talking, and you remember seeing him at Big Cat, Sam Turner. Well, he was grinning from ear to ear, right? He was taking it all in. You looked at him and went, now that guy, he wants to be here. So I almost wonder, does he get to that game and he sees how it is and he goes, I don't know if I can wait.
Right. That's what you have to take into account.
This kid is so calculated, though, and so thorough that I think this is going to be the decision game for him. Like, he's going to get to Auburn, he's going to experience that atmosphere, and he's going to say, I want in. And he's going to let the coaching staff know that he wants in. And then he's going to actually plan his commitment like they all do now, right?
Right.
They all want to make sure that they have their moment. And I think there's an opportunity for him to be committed before he comes back on his OV, but I don't think it's going to be during this weekend for the Cal game. I hear you. I think it's going to be 2 weeks out.
Well, first of all, if Deuce does what he's supposed to do, you're not going to want to piggyback on that. You want Deuce Knight to commit this weekend and just ride that out for another week. You want
Sure.
Elijah Melendez commit the next weekend and ride that out.
Right.
I would imagine. I don't know. That's how Auburn seems to have done it. They're spacing these out. So they're keeping their momentum going. So I don't think so. I don't think neither one of us do. Either one of us do. Stephen Queef. Let's say theoretically we add Naeem Offord, Andrew Babalola, Sam Turner, Usman Chroma, and Deuce Knight. Who from the 25 class would be an immediate contributor next year? Immediate contributor. So we're talking Cam Coleman, we're talking Perry Thompson, we're talking Malcolm Simmons, we're talking Malik Blockton.
Yeah, Offord.
Yeah, well, Offord and
Chroma.
Yeah, you just nailed it. That was exactly what I was about to say. 1-2 on that because Chroma offers something different in the backfield.
He's a dog, ain't he?
That we don't presently have. Well, he's a big body. I mean, you're talking 220 plus. You don't have that hammer right now, with the exception of Sean Jackson, and I think it's up in the air if he's going to return next year or not. So, because of the difference in body type, I think he has an opportunity to contribute right away, specifically in short yardage situations. And again, I'm with you. You're losing your starter, regardless of what happens after this year at corner. Offord has an opportunity to come in and be the third corner, or maybe even the starter, contingent on how he prepares himself for the next season.
So you're going to see next. Let's say Auburn gets Offord, right? You're going to see next year maybe the most talented secondary Auburn's had. They're going to be young, inexperienced, but talent-wise, as good as Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, I mean, I think you're getting there because you got Eric Winters and Anquan Fagans coming in for safety.
Yeah.
You would have Offord coming in, and that whole corner class, Dante Core, Donovan Starr, maybe if he, we'll see what happens with him. I'm missing Would be. There's another one too, I think.
Oh, Devin Williams.
Devin Williams, who was a baller. A little small, but a baller.
Kid out of Tennessee, what's his name?
Starr.
Yeah, Donovan Starr. You're right. Did you name him?
I did. I said, We'll see what happens with him. He's going to take a couple visits, so we're watching him. But, I mean, all of these guys matched with an older Sylvester Smith.
Yeah.
Terrence Love.
Caleb Harris.
Don't forget about the kid that got injured before the season even started. I mean, they think he's an exceptional player.
Who's that?
Yeah. Tyler Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Tyler Scott.
Antonio Kite will have a year under his belt. Jay Crawford, love him.
J.C. Hart, who should have had an interception the other night.
Guys, what a talented secondary.
Amon Lane Gaines.
Yeah.
Amon Lane Gaines.
Amon looked good to me. I did not anticipate.
I think Caden Lee has to come back, right?
Oh, he's not going to be eligible to. I mean, he could transfer, sure.
He could, yeah.
But he's not eligible for the NFL draft. And I think so long as McGriff is there, I think Caden Lee will stay in the fold. I don't anticipate him to leave so long as Wes is there.
Right.
Let's see what O'Tikeet wants to know. If Chroma does commit to Auburn, do you see us going in the transfer portal for a running back with only 2 SEC-proven running backs on next year's roster? Cole, I'm with you. Yes.
I do, yeah.
That's the plan. I think Auburn sticks to it. I think they sign 2 high school running backs and go to the portal for a third.
Yeah, I think they would definitely go to the portal. I don't know who, would even be an option at this point. I mean, Brian Battie, that guy came out of nowhere, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher at USF.
And I think that's what it's going to be like. I think it's going to be a small school back that's wanting to take a step up to prove themselves, right? Like, I don't think you're going to get somebody from another Power 5 team with what you've got stacked in Jeremiah Cobb and Damari Alston and the production that they're going to return.
Who's that running back that Cal played last week?
Oh, I mean, that he can play. I mean,
UC Davis?
Yeah, he can play. Zach, jump in here because you know who the kid is.
Gosh.
Lan Larison.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he can play.
He's good.
That's right.
So, yeah, Tiki. The plan is no reason to think Auburn's deviating from that. 2 high school guys in a portal to match with Damari Alston, and he was the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year. And I believe somebody said, I saw this on the corner. He may have been a finalist for the Walter Payton Award last year. Dude's good.
Okay.
Anyway, somebody like that.
No, I'm with you. And somebody that adds a different dimension to maybe somebody that can be a kick returner for you or something of that nature. somebody that's already got proven production, so they've got enough tape for the NFL, but you want to show it against SEC level competition. I think that's what they're going to be looking for.
He only played in 8 games last year, Zach says. So you got to think big dogs averaged over 130 yards per game before he got hurt. So you got to think somebody's going to be coming after him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's getting a phone call from somebody's coach or cousin or somebody to say, hey, man, if you make your way into the portal, there's going to be a payday for you.
ABL WDE, with Alabama A&M being outmatched opponent, and I think that's being courteous, how does the performance affect recruits' thoughts about Auburn? What does that win do compared to a win against a top team? I think it did everything he would have done. It was the atmosphere. It was coming out and doing what you're supposed to do. It went as well. The crowd stayed involved. Now, what would that do compared? Auburn did the best it could have done against Alabama A&M. It checked every box. When you're playing Alabama A&M, these are the boxes you want to check to make impacts on recruits, and Auburn checked every one of them.
Yeah. And my thought on that is, go ahead, Cole. You go first.
Just there was no downside to it at all.
Right. There was no unchecked box.
For the kids who were there, right? Now, this doesn't grab attention probably of the kids that weren't there. So maybe targets on the board who attended other games. Maybe it doesn't do as much for them, but for the ones that were in attendance, I'm wholeheartedly on the same page as you guys that they did everything that they could do. The atmosphere was fantastic. You featured the pieces you wanted to feature, the young players, those receivers. So if you have a guy like Deuce Knight there, you want him to know who you're going to have on your roster next year. And they created excitement without necessarily having to play a big-time opponent. Now, again, like Andrew Babalola wasn't in attendance. Does that grab his attention? Maybe. Right. Maybe the score does. Right. Maybe if, it would have been better had you played like a Miami or something like that in your opener. But I think that's a little bit subjective to the recruit themselves.
Yeah, no, there was no downside. I'm with Cole on that. Everything went extremely well. All these balls, football, basketball, baseball, all of them. Who is y'all's player comp to each of the new receivers? I know it's only one game in. All these balls. Great question for the recruiting show. Who is y'all's player comp to each of the new receivers? I know it's only one game in, and it's hard to get a good comp, but could you imagine them ending up being like?
Okay.
Well, this is for y'all.
Okay, let's go Cam Coleman first. I'm going to go T. Higgins is my player comp for him. Maybe AJ Green. We'll see how he develops over time, but one of those two, because Cam was also a basketball player, extremely athletic, good route runner. I think both of those are good comps for him. I shy away from AJ Green just because of how productive he's been in the NFL, man. Right? That's a Hall of Famer.
Sure. Keandre Lambert-Smith, for some reason, reminds me of Darvin Adams.
Yeah.
Just reliable. I think that's the key word there, reliable. I think he's going to be reliable.
When I look at Sam Turner, that's who I see Darvin Adams.
I hear you.
All day long. That's Sam what he Turner, looks like to me. Yeah. But I think that's fair with KLS because of the dependability.
Malcolm Simmons, man. I don't know.
Maybe Robert Baker from back in the day, Jeffrey. Baker. Yes, sir.
Number 5.
Yeah.
He's the one who got eat up by the Bulldogs.
He sure did, didn't he?
I think he also went did he go to jail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he got busted trafficking drugs, if I remember correctly.
I think yeah.
And then still somehow got a tryout with the Dolphins.
He he went to rehab for his nose.
Yeah. A little bit. Perry Thompson, body type wise, who does he comp to? Anybody?
I mean, you hate to say it because we've talked to him about it, and he didn't really care for being compared to this guy growing up. He's also from Foley, so that makes it.
Oh,
I don't quite want to go there yet, but his size and acceleration with that size, when he caught that hitch, which we will talk about, we talked about on the film room. I wanted to point that play out. That play was a lot better to me than the post that he scored on.
Oh,
no, I hear you.
I saw flashes of brilliance on that play. I was like, oh. So he's like that. I mean, he put his head down and barreled over 2 guys and got about 5 extra yards. I was like, oh, he could do that.
There's your yards after catch, ain't it?
Yeah, he's a tough comp for me because, and I know you're going to Julio Jones, balance and body control.
Your mind goes there, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah. Julio's balance and body control were elite, man. I mean, he could do some things that just not a lot of guys at that size can do. I need to see a little bit more from Perry before I get there, but I'll go with a more athletic and faster version of Anthony Mix. From a body type standpoint, that's kind of what he reminds me of.
Okay. Same neck of the woods.
Because Perry Thompson, to me, you could almost line him up at running back and hand it off to him, and he'd probably be really good.
Yeah.
I go to Cordero Patterson is a guy
that is a great comp. That's really, really good, Cole.
He was
a bigger version, but yes, Cordell Patterson.
Oh,
yeah, just
Tennessee,
version,
Pittsburgh.
Right? Yeah.
He like does he still play for somebody? I think he does.
I'm not sure if he does.
He was a running back for the Falcons last year.
He was a fantastic fantasy guy.
Everything.
Logan wants to know which class finishes higher ranked, 25 or 26?
Ooh. 25.
You got to think about this. You're giving Auburn another year with that class.
I don't know who the quarterback's going to be in 26 yet.
May not be any.
Sure.
That's kind of what I'm thinking there, Jeffrey. Is this may be the 26 class may be layered in a way that keeps them in the top 10, but it's not. You know what I mean? You're not going to stack the kind of players that have the star ranking that are going to put you in the top 2.
Sure.
You could get there in this class, I think, with the way and the depth, the number they're going to take.
That's what scares me away from 26 is Auburn's going to sign 30 guys probably in 25, right? I mean, they got 23. They'll probably lose 2 or 3, take them down to 20, probably 27. I probably 27 is a better number.
I put 28, I think, in my last. Like I'm getting ready to release a mock, and 28 was the number that I came up with, and I think that's probably where you're going to land. But I think this is going to be a deeper class than what 26 is going to be. Now, per player, 26 is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking probably potentially you don't have less than a 4-star player in that class.
Right.
But maybe you don't have like 4 or 5 stars or something like that.
I like it. Fantastic stuff. I told you, man. The attitude on the corner just vastly improved from when Hugh Freeze and those guys took their vacation. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Listen, dude, I got a text from a friend in the industry the other day who didn't necessarily care for the fact that he took a vacation. And he walked it back. And he was like, dude, I'm an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should have never should have gotten upset about that.
At the time, I wasn't upset about it by any means. I just pointed out, I mean, it was a week for everybody else to make a move, and you didn't so much. That's all it was. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't catch back up, right?
No.
Well, the problem was they took the last week off, and which we loved. Oh, thank you so much. But the problem was the timing is that's when Alabama got hot.
Yes.
So Alabama was boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
and Auburn fans were going, oh, man, our coaches are on vacation, That was the problem. It was the perfect storm for
perfect storm. That's a great way to put it.
Absolutely, especially from a perception standpoint, when you feel like Auburn's stagnant and that Alabama's starting to kind of pull ahead. But what we all knew, you had to see it come into play, right? Was that Big Cat Weekend was coming, that the coaching staff was teed up and ready to go for that, and they knew that was going to be their launch point, right? That was going to be where this class really took off, and they did a fantastic job of making sure that they got all the pieces there they needed to, and they've continued to capitalize on that.
The only thing I think that they will do different next year, and I think Hugh Freeze even hinted at this, he made a joke about Will Redmond. Remember, he was like, well, what we got in the pipe or something coming down. I believe if they do that again next year, they'll have a commitment or two come out while they're gone to keep that momentum going. Because you remember that? I don't remember if it was at an Auburn club or something. And
it was on not the Tiger Pride, but what do they call that now, man? Is it?
It was when they visit the cities.
Yes.
The Auburn clubs.
Yeah.
And he said, something about Will. What do we got going, or something? We need something.
Yeah, or either that or was before SEC Media Days. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those, but I hear you. And it may have been the one where they did it in Houston or Dallas, whatever it was.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
And he said it the day before. But yeah, man, I'm with you. I think that's just smart because it keeps people calm. And it keeps Auburn relevant in the headlines. And I think that's the only part that if you're looking from a messaging standpoint, you want to make sure that you maintain yourself in the news cycle. And Auburn did kind of fall out there for a little bit.
After being so, and then at the end of the summer, it was like, who had the better summer? Even on 3 was like Auburn. Auburn is in the conversation for having the best summer recruiting.
Yes.
All right, let's get to some how about yous. I have 12, and I'm just going to read them off.
Go for it, big dog.
Okay, let me just go ahead. Now, listen, I'm going to read off the guys and gals who got it the old-fashioned way. They deserve it. Then I've got some Eeyore, put an asterisk beside these how about you, some Eeyore. I mean, do I ever get a how about you? Thanks for noticing me. Let's start with those guys. Let's start with the Eeyores, all right? Atala RX. How about you, big dog?
There you go.
Give me a ×2 on him, please.
Okay, all right. Oh, well, then he earned one.
He's been a consistent question asker on Ask Pink so far.
Okay, all right. Then I'm going to remove the asterisk. The Eeyore asterisk from Atala. Atala, how about you, big dog? How about that?
Oh,
all right,
man.
What, you saved him, Cole?
I know. Good. I'm proud of you, Atala.
JZG0136. How about you? AU86KB. How about you? Oh my, T Phillips 1007. How about you?
Is he the one? T Phillips, is he the one with the picture of Barkley eating the pizza?
Yes, that's the one.
That's one of my favorites.
Okay, and this guy really surprised me. But D-Cone 24.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's been 84 years,
bro. So D-Cone's on my list, but he had me on that one. He's been talking about it's been in a dry spell as of late.
You've been in a dry spell, yeah.
All right, how about you for real? OG style, baby. Caitlin Clark, 22 fan.
Yes. Make that ×2.
All right. Been on a tear. Cole, you're shaking your head.
It's because he's got a shtick. He just posts the Caitlin Clark gif and everything, and it's kind of funny, I guess. Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, well, it wasn't one of those. It was he or she, or Czar or Z or whatever.
Choice of identification is on the table, right? You know what I mean?
Whatever floats you both there, big dog. How about Weagle06? How about you, big dog? How about Al Capone? How about you? How about you to J.W. Murray, who I met at the game? He was a part of the Pyro team setting off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Al Capone. How about you to WDE Mike? Because, Auburn's putting wear white this weekend, and he says something about only hillbillies would wear white after Labor Day. Let's see. How about you to Cannabis Culture? I believe it was Vor Valento posted, "What are y'all smoking tonight?" And Cannabis Culture said, "Nice try, officer." And how about you to Witchest It?
Oh, there you yes. Let's clarify on that.
Yes.
Make that ×2, please.
Okay. Because he had a legitimate question. I didn't realize it at the time. He was asking about AJ Ia and Coyote Armstrong visiting or something like that. And we discarded it. We were like, what are you doing? Pay attention. And he was like, well, they're on the visitor list. And they were. So it was a legitimate question. It was our fault for having them still on the visitor list. Now they committed. They set those visits up before they set those visits up. Then they committed to other schools. Those other schools should have taken off those visits. They didn't. They were still on Auburn's visitor list. So he had a legitimate question. So apologies to Witchest It.
Good for him.
And how about you?
Yeah, ×2 on that one.
Okay.
Because I'm with you, Jeffrey. Like I looked at that and I was like, those guys committed forever ago.
Yeah.
There's zero buzz about him visiting. Like, what is he asking? Did not realize he was still looking at that to see if it was like a new update.
Right. All right. There was my dandy dozen.
Nice.
Who's got something?
I got 8. I'm gonna go through them a little quicker this week, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Two people that I saw at the game and met.
Yeah.
MLC. One of our ladies on the board, MLC, met her walking past Tiger Walk, and she goes, "Hey, just so you know, Bobby Coleman's here."
Oh.
So that was the first recruit I got up in the recruiting thread. So
okay, MLC, how about you, big girl? Not big girl, but big dog.
Yeah, we'll edit that part out.
How about you, big dog?
Jay Lee's former spit cup. And it was great. I met him. I always ask the username. He goes, it's Jay Lee's former spit cup. It was good stuff. Good stuff. So I met both of those subscribers, and they were awesome. So how about you to those two? JG_skis. That's capital JG _ capital SKIS. JG skis. When I put up the announcers for the Alabama A&M game, he said, "No Herb Street? Already getting that ABC bias." I thought it was good. War Eagle Joe, for your post, Jeffrey, of the house that Jessica's selling, he said, too low budget for me.
Yeah.
I saw that, dude.
That was good. That was good.
Hey, War Eagle Joe is all one word?
Yes.
Okay.
The W, E, and J are capitalized. War Eagle Joe.
Okay.
WDE 85. That's all one word. WDE 85. Just, encouraging comment.
Okay.
Too Toxic.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
He had a great one. I posted a note on Malachi Goodman talking about him, which no questions about him, interestingly. Potentially maybe trending to Penn State right now. And he said, but is he aware that we're back up? I thought
somebody tell him.
Cookie Monster.
Cookie.
That's the space in between Cookie and Monster. Cookie Monster.
Okay.
He's my friend. He only pops up when breakdowns start happening. I don't see him other than that. Hey, he's in my breakdown thread. You better believe it. So big fan of Cookie Monster. And then last but not least, stop wearing Navy cleats _14.
I like it.
Stop
hold
wearing
on.
Navy.
Who was after Cookie Monster?
Stop wearing Navy cleats.
Oh, I thought
_14.
I thought that was his message. All one word or any spaces in there?
All one word. Stop wearing Navy cleats _14. And it's all together. And he just was enjoying the breakdown, and I appreciate it.
Okay. Is that all?
That's it.
All right. Alan Head.
I've only got 4, but in that same thread, the house thread that Jeffrey Lee put up for Jessica, Whisker Biscuit said, at Don, here's your chance to have a drink with Jeffrey Lee. Got me. And then BBP right directly thereafter put the face of Jeffrey Lee in pure defeat.
Oh, yeah. That was actually a Don call, too, by the way.
Oh, I know.
So Whisker Biscuit is BBP?
Yeah, Whisker Biscuit, BBP. I'm going to give Don one now because, we had some fun at his expense.
For sure.
Yeah, but he's a good sport about it.
Love Don.
At Robert Kinsaw.
Yeah.
And Robbie, my bad on missing your DM, but I will definitely catch you at the next game. And last but not least, Mr. at Bobby Sweatpants. It's been a long time since Bobby's been brought up, but he had a post that had me in stitches.
Does Bobby have a space in his name?
I don't think so. I think it's all one word, Bobby Sweatpants.
Oh, man. 25 how about you today? I mean, that's, you know what? And listen, I want to, JSAP 12. I'm going to add him on there. And here's why. On my hot board, using Cole's information, dropped Malachi Goodman down to, I think, 25%.
Right.
And he asked what changed. And I replied, his mind.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Are you giving yourself a how about you for that?
Well, I think people took it the wrong way. They were thinking I was being like dismissive and
you were being a Richard, right?
Right, being a Richard, right, and Crash Out Albie. I probably should throw him in there too. Crash Out Albie. He said I thought he asked a fair question, and I was like, absolutely, it was a fair question. I was being serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Goodman, according to Cole, was back and forth with Auburn and Penn State, but decided on Penn State, or at least it looks that way. He made up his mind. That's what changed. I mean, I was being serious, but I could see how that could come off as being Richardish. So my apologies to JSAP12, and how about you to him and Crash Out Albie for bringing that to my attention. Crash Out Albie, all one word. All right, folks. Hey, listen, if you didn't get enough from today's show, if you want some more details, some more scoop, we're going to get to it on Wednesday. We've got the Auburn Live Plus Recruiting Insider Show coming up. We're going to tape today. We'll have it out on Wednesday. Go get signed up to Auburn Live on 3. It's included in your subscription. Or if the website's not your thing, you just want to do YouTube, $2.99 a month. Hit that join members only on our channel, Auburn Live channel on YouTube. All right, that's going to do it today, folks. We'll be back for the Auburn Live Plus on Wednesday. We've got Auburn Live Plus shows coming out all week long. We've got the modcast. We've got football shows, Cole Pink's Perspective. We've got a lot of shows coming out. So Auburn Live Plus, if you're not on Auburn Live on 3, is all absolutely worth it right now. We'll be back, of course, also on Sunday for the call-in show. One more time, Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group. If you're looking for some real estate needs in Auburn, look no further for the help that you will need. Absolutely. She's fantastic. I promise you. Never heard a bad word about her. Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. Give her a call. Tell her we sent you. All right, folks, that's going to do it, man. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate everybody watching. For Alan Head, for Cole Pinkston, for Zach in the back, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay out of that left lane. See ya.